Have you ever walked into a company and just felt a certain vibe? Maybe it's a chaotic startup buzzing with energy, or maybe it's a quiet, formal bank where everything seems to run like clockwork. Well, that feeling, that's not an accident. It is absolutely by design. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and reveal the hidden blueprint that shapes every single organization and show you how you can learn to read it.
Right. I mean, just think about the difference between your local DMV and a tech startup. One is predictable, orderly, maybe a little slow. The other is probably a bit messy, but incredibly fast. And this isn't just some coincidence. It's the result of very deliberate design choices that every organization makes, whether they even realize it or not.
Okay, I know, that sounds a little academic, right? So let's make it real. Let's invent a company for a second. We'll call it Acme Innovations. It's goal-directed because it exists to do something specific, like, say, build the world's best smart coffee maker. It's deliberately structured because we have to decide who's going to do what, who designs the app, who sources the beans, who answers the customer emails. And it's linked to the external environment because, well, we can't do this in a vacuum. We need investors, suppliers, and most importantly, we need coffee lovers out there to buy our product. It really is a living, breathing system.
And that brings us to a really, really crucial idea. The old way of thinking about companies was that they were these kind of sealed-off boxes. But the modern view is that they're open systems. So think of our company Acme as this complex machine. It needs fuel from the outside world. We're talking inputs like cash, talented people, and raw materials. Then it runs its own process, all the design, the coding, the manufacturing, to produce outputs the world actually wants, our amazing coffee maker. Without that constant back and forth with the outside world, the machine just sputters and dies. Simple as that.
So before we can even start building our Acme machine, we have to make the most important decision of all. Where are we even going? This is all about strategy. It's the North Star that's going to guide every single choice we make from here on out.
And strategy isn't just some brilliant idea you have in the shower one morning. It's a continuous loop. You start by scanning the horizon, looking for opportunities and threats out there. Then you take a good hard look in the mirror at what you're actually good at. From there, you define your purpose, your reason for being. Then, and only then, do you formulate a plan. But it doesn't stop there. You have to actually build it, run it, and constantly check if it's working. It's this never-ending cycle of learning and adapting.
For our company, Acme, it really all boils down to one of these three big choices, which were famously laid out by Michael Porter. So do we want to be a Walmart, ruthlessly efficient, competing on price, and winning with just sheer scale? Or do we want to be an Apple, creating a product so unique and so desirable that people will happily pay more for it? Or maybe we go the other way entirely and we focus on a tiny, specific niche, like making the absolute perfect coffee maker for left-handed baristas who only drink single-origin Ethiopian coffee. You see, each of those paths demands a completely different kind of company.
And this, right here, is the single most important takeaway of this entire explainer. Listen to this. You don't just build a company and then figure out what it's going to do. You choose your strategy first, and that strategy dictates the blueprint for your structure. Your choice of path determines the kind of machine you need to build. So the moment Acme chooses its strategy, the blueprint starts to draw itself.
Okay, so Acme has its strategy. Let's say we've decided to be the Apple of coffee makers. That's a differentiation strategy. Now we can start making the key architectural choices for our organization. We're moving from the why to the how. First big question, who gets to make the calls? In a highly centralized system, every important decision flows right up to the CEO. This is awesome for control and consistency. It's perfect if you're running a franchise and you need every location to be identical. But for Acme's goal of innovation, we'd want to be decentralized. We'd want to empower our product teams to make quick decisions, to run experiments, and hey, even to fail without having to ask for permission. That's how you get the speed and flexibility you need to create something totally new. Next up, how many rules do we need? High formalization means you've got these thick employee handbooks, detailed procedures for pretty much everything, and really clear job descriptions. Again, this is perfect for making sure every Walmart store operates the exact same way. But for our innovative Acme, we need low formalization. We want to give our brilliant designers and engineers the freedom to be creative, not to fill out paperwork. We're basically trading some consistency on purpose to get a lot more creativity. Okay, so we've picked our strategy and we've designed a structure to match. The machine is built and it's running. So now for the big question, how do we know if it's actually working? And it's so tempting to just look at the bottom line, just look at profit. But the real answer is so much bigger and honestly a lot more interesting than that. This right here shows the modern view of what success actually looks like. A truly effective organization has to create value for all of its stakeholders. I mean, of course, our owners need to get a return on their investment, but what about our employees? Are they happy? Are they growing? Are they paid fairly? And our customers, are they getting a product that genuinely makes their lives better? Are we being a good partner to our suppliers and a responsible member of our community? True sustainable effectiveness is a balancing act, and it's about satisfying all of these groups at once.
And this all leads us to the final master framework. Because organizational design isn't something you do just once and then forget about it. Oh no, it's a constant, dynamic process of managing all these competing priorities.
And this brilliant model shows the 4 great tensions that every single organization is constantly trying to navigate. So think about the vertical axis. Are you focused externally, out there on the market, on growth and innovation? Or are you focused internally, on your people, your culture, your processes? Then you've got the horizontal axis. Do you prioritize flexibility, speed, and change? Or do you prioritize stability, efficiency, and control? So a brand new startup is probably going to be living way up in that top left quadrant, right? All about flexibility and external growth. A mature government agency, they might be down in the bottom right, focused on internal stability and control. But here's the thing. The very best organizations, they don't just pick a box and stay there. They learn how to manage these tensions and operate effectively across all 4 of these areas. So let's bring it all home. What are the key things to remember from our little journey with Acme? First, and most importantly, structure must always align with strategy. Form follows function. Second, there's no single best way to design a company. The right blueprint for a bank is absolutely the wrong one for a create agency. Third, real success isn't just about profit. It's about creating value for everyone who's involved. And finally, remember that this job is never finished. Managing an organization is a perpetual act of balancing these competing values, stability versus change, and internal health versus external success. And that leaves us with one final question to take with you. Think about the places you work, or study, or interact with every single day. Look at their structure, their rules, their focus, and just ask yourself this. Is their blueprint designed to meet the challenges of the future, or is it a relic of the past?